just a gigolo. Everywhere I go, people know the part I'm playing. Paid for every dance, selling each romance.
De citations de Nietzsche sur le thème du surhomme en reprise de Kurt Weill, Bowie ne cesse d'être fasciné par l'Allemagne, ce qu'il prouve une fois de plus en jouant dans Just a Gigolo avec Marlène Dietrich, présenté à Cannes en 1979, et en interprétant le rôle titre dans une adaptation télé du Bal de Bertolt Brecht. Mais, paria irréductible, il reste sur la scène de New York où il joue Elephant Man.
When the end comes, I know he'll say just a gigolo. And life goes on without me.
This is Johanna. They brought her along at last. Hello, Johanna.
I can't stay long. I just wanted to have a look at you. You won't talk to me about anything else.
Tell me, how old are you?
She's 15 in June.
Home. Oh, no, I mean really say it. I have a home. This is my... Come on. I have a home. This is my home. This is my home. I have a home.
Brings a vulnerability that I didn't see in the previous actor. You know, it comes across in his body and also his face. His terrific delivery, too. It's amazing.
It's a side of him I wasn't acquainted with, and I'm impressed.
You can visualize what this man really looked like, and it's an exceptional performance.
Avec Scary Monsters, toujours en 1980, Bowie, rattrapé par la New Wave, décide d'enterrer les années 70 en même temps que les monstres qu'il s'est créés. Le nouveau Bowie sera positif et acteur pour le grand public, ce qu'annonce déjà le tube européen Ashes to Ashes, qui fait référence au suicide du Major Tom, le personnage de Space Oddity.
Oh no, don't say it's true. They got a message for the action man. Hope you're happy too. I've loved all I've needed love. Saw the details fall away.
Mais alors qu'il s'apprête à une nouvelle tournée mondiale, John Lennon est assassiné. Bowie, parano, se réfugie dans les studios de cinéma.
Forever and ever.
Remarqué par Nagisa Oshima, le réalisateur de l'Empire des Sens, dans une pub pour du gin, David Bowie décroche le rôle du prisonnier de guerre dans Furio, qui fera sensation à Cannes en 1983.
Crystal. June Rock, Japan.
Lorsqu'il est venu à Montreux, il voulait échapper, disons, à la scène londonienne. Il voulait échapper un peu de tout ce développement, un peu de création des bridées folles, où beaucoup de choses négatives étaient liées à ça. Il voulait surtout protéger son fils. C'était donc ça l'idée de venir en Suisse. C'est quand même un pays qui est connu comme étant très sûr, avec de très bonnes écoles. Et puis, il a également découvert, disons, le ski, qu'il ne pratiquait pas jusqu'avant. Il est devenu un passionné de ski.
À Montreux, Bowie découvre aussi le Texan Stevie Ray Vaughan, guitariste prodige qui l'invite aussitôt à jouer sur Let's Dance, l'album qu'il enregistre avec Nile Rodgers de Chic.
David and I met at an after-hours club called the Continental. We talked about people like Little Richard, James Brown, and, you know, just old R&B in America and how it influenced all the rock people in England. And then we didn't talk about making a record together. We were just picking each other's brains, and we're in the Mutual Admiration Society. I probably told him how when I was a kid I wanted to be in his band and, you know, stuff like that, because it really was the truth. When I first heard Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, that's it. That's who I wanted to be with. I wanted to be the guitar player with Mick Ronson and David Bowie.
Avec Let's Dance, Bowie s'affiche désormais en humaniste hétéro et clean. Il annonce le retour du rock politisé de Sting à Peter Gabriel en se penchant sur le sort des aborigènes.
There's a gradual shift, I mean, when you reach mid-30s. I think that there's a period where you have to decide not to try and grasp frantically for the feelings of desperation and anger that you have when you're in your mid-20s, I think. And if you can relax into the idea that being mid-30s is quite a nice place to be with an amount of experience behind you.
When David first asked me to work on Let's Dance, I thought that we were going to go on a real peculiar, quirky, artistic journey. I didn't think we were going to make records to sell. I thought that we were just going to, you know, have an experiment with textures and sound and things like that. And then when he brought the demo of China Girl, which he had worked on already with Iggy Pop, I believe they had already released it, and he said, "See what you can do with this." And I was really nervous because I thought the original version of China Girl sounded anything but commercial. I thought it was the most peculiar thing I'd ever heard for a commercial record. And then I put in that little ding, 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 ding. My reasoning was, hey, David, where I come from, if you call a song China Girl, it better sound Asian or something. I mean, you know, so I put in this little guitar riff, and I was terrified, thinking he was going to say, I can't stand, that's disgusting. But he went, I like that. And I said, well, if you like that, listen to this.
I could escape this feeling with my China girl. I feel a wreck without my little China girl. I hear her heart beating loud as thunder. So the stars crashing.
David was a lot more spiritual and more cerebral than I had imagined. He was very quiet, very reserved, very intense, but in a quiet way, not imposing or demanding. And he also artistically gave me a lot of respect and freedom. So it was like the perfect marriage for me at that time. I couldn't have asked for anything better.
I saw the stars crashing down.
What I like about David, just as a fan, just looking at him and respecting him as an artist, is I like his sense of originality and his sense of poetry. And it's not just verbal poetry, it's also sonic poetry. It's the way that he can use words, the way that he can use sound as a texture, the way that he can take his voice and do that thing and then whisper. And, you know, he's an interesting artist.